right, we are back, and we coaxed Max Keiser to stay over for one more 5-minute segment. So I guess, in closing with what you were saying, who's going to come out on top in the global market scale after this crisis? Who is going to be number one?
PirateMyFilm.com.
Well, we could certainly hope so.
PirateMyFilm.com is the way to solve the world's problems. No, but seriously, that site, PirateMyFilm.com, it's something that we'll be checking back with you, hopefully, and periodically, and talking about how it's taking shape. Because my hope is to get documentary filmmakers like yourself and others on the site.
Well, I'd love to throw up my 2 movies. I'd love to throw up Loose Change and Fabled Enemies, and my next one I'm working on is Invisible Empire, which really just goes over this whole global government scenario and what these guys talk about, the organizations they use, and what their end game is. And I would love to throw it up there. I'd be honored to use that site.
Yeah, Invisible Empire, we put it on the site, and people have a chance to buy a copy today for $2 or $5, and then you get the money to make the film. Then once the film is finished, you deliver the film. So you're pre-selling the copy to get the money to make the film now. Mm-hmm. And then attached to that gold copy, what I call the gold copy, are some other revenue incentives built in. So if, in fact, the film becomes a monster hit, like I'm sure it will, then the people who helped, microfinance your film to begin with could get some upside. And the whole thing happens outside of the copyright system the way it works now. So it offers some real competition. So if you're talking about PirateMyFilm.com or America's place in the world, you get back to the one inescapable point, which was outlined by David Ricardo, who is a contemporary of Adam Smith, which is comparative advantage, economically speaking, meaning that you've got to have something to sell. There's got to be something competitive. Americans have to have something competitive other than the fact that they can eat their weight in donuts and buy lots of guns. That's got to be something other than that. Americans need something else to do except eat and shoot. They need to be competitive on the world with some other things. Because right now, after 30 years of having the U.S. dollar as the world reserve currency, and having the U.S. military, open up bases all over the world and shoot anybody who's a competitor, basically. That's why Al Jazeera English, for example, is not allowed in America, because Fox doesn't want the competition. ABC doesn't want the competition. NBC doesn't want the competition. That's the very un-American to say we're afraid to compete. I mean, America should be embracing competition.
Well, absolutely.
Al Jazeera English is a very fine global network. I've made films for them. It's an outstanding organization in Doha, which incidentally has a huge U.S. military base in Qatar, Doha and Qatar, where the network is based. But they can't get carriage in America because the copyright cartel, the Fox News, the Murdochs, the News Corp, they don't want to compete. Mm-hmm. That sucks.
Well, plus
the thing
psyops,
about being an American is showing that you can compete and be great. But if you're not allowed to compete, then what's the point of what's the point? We all want to compete and show that we're the best, but we're not allowed to compete, because the government is saying, no, we want all the marbles. We want to play crony capitalism. You have to just stay in your silo, stuck to your feed bag, and eat. That's your only job in America, is to be like a duck on a foie gras farm. Just eat. That's it. To hell with that. I want to compete. I want to do something great. I don't want to just be stuck to a feed farm, a feed bag. That's why I don't even live in America.
That's a great point. And, you say Al Jazeera in America, Max, and they automatically associate it with Al-Qaeda and terrorists. That's the kind of psyops that go on here. I've been on a...
No, that's the Drudge Report.
Max, thank you so much for getting up this early and joining us.
Max Keiser, he's more dangerous than Al-Qaeda.
I can't disagree with you. Al-Qaeda's the boogeyman, man. It's not the real deal. MaxKeiser.com, PirateMyFilm.com. Hopefully he'll join us sometime in the next couple months. It's the Info Warrior. PrisonPlanet.tv, Infowars.com.
Pepperspray.com. We live in an unpredictable world, and as everyone knows, I'm all about preparedness. Remember, an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. That's why I want you to visit our new sponsor, pepperspray.com, to check out their wide variety of personal security products they have available on their website. Since 1994, pepperspray.com has made your personal safety their number one priority. So give them a call at 1-800-908-9988. Again, that number is 1-800-908-9988. Or visit them at pepperspray.com and give yourself some peace of mind. On the web since 94, sell a wide variety of personal safety and security products. You're not only getting security, but peace of mind you deserve as well. Free shipping on orders above $99. Pepper spray of all kinds and strengths, stun guns and tasers, animal repellents, home safety, personal alarms, and much more. Pepperspray.com.